Welcome, everybody. Start our public session of our August 25th meeting, 2025, at 6:34 p.m. We start at 6:15, non-public with a couple of potential fire department hires. That leads us now to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, public comment. Frank, come on up.
Oh, Frank, you want to turn the mic on?
Where it says push, and the green light comes on?
That's good, thank you.
I'm not technically savvy, I'll admit. I think I got it right this time, as opposed to last time, I misread the agenda for the fire department. But this time, you have on the agenda for finalizing public comment policy, I believe. I haven't heard any discussion, so I don't know, where it is, how the stance is, but my only concern to the board is that, first, I would think over the years, it's always been trusted to the chairman to, to have his rules for guidelines for public comment. Somebody starts to go off the edge a little bit, chairman does that, so I guess that's probably going to be a little bit different now. But I think you should trust in the chairman to use his best judgment. It seemed to work. The other thing, couple of things, I can only speculate, that's for sure, not knowing what's going to transpire tonight, that the rules for public comment are not written so that if the board collectively or individually, if they don't like somebody that's speaking, that, then becomes a personality issue. So I hope the personalities don't enter into, into the whatever rules you're going to have for a public speaker. Also, along that same lines, not all speakers, and I'm probably one of them, will not always agree with, what the board's, what their actions are, what they're contemplating, and that. I don't know if that's going to change. Someone like me or other people, they come in and say, well, maybe you should have thought to do something a little bit different. I don't know how it's going to be. But I'll leave you with this little bit of a comical part of it. I hope the new rules are not going to be like Archie Bunker's rules to Edith when she starts offering an opinion or commenting, that what's his phrase? Stifle yourself. So I hope it's not going to be that type of policy. That will remain to be seen. Thanks, that's all I have.
Thank you. I'm going to guess there's no one else. Is there anyone else with public comment? All right. Seeing none, hearing none. Department head committee items. Chief Rourke has a fire department update.
Well, good evening. Just to give everyone a little update about the Mount Dearborn brush fire that happened Monday, 8/18. The call came in for smoke in the area probably around 1:30 in the afternoon. We went out there and finally located the fire by almost, it was pretty close to 3 o'clock, I guess, when we finally located the fire. It was up Mount Dearborn Road and right across from Perkins Pond Road, a residence. There was a old mill road. It was an old trail that ran up beside the house there. The fire was caused by a lightning strike to a tree. Rangers stated that they thought the tree had burned for probably 3 or 4 days before the fire ended up spreading into around the rest of it. A little over roughly 7 acres was burned during this. Very heavy presence with mutual aid. We had over 33 towns come in and help us. We had strike teams from the Lakes region. We had strike teams from the Seacoast area come and help us out. The amount of hours that was that was utilized was a little over roughly 1,200 man hours to contain this fire. The fire was still burning as of this morning, and there was hot spots. We will be continuing to patrol that area probably for, I would say, the next week until we have a significant amount of rain. But it will be patrolled every day. We had over 5,000 feet of hose deployed out into the woods. It was difficult to get to. The terrain was extremely difficult, and when we found it, I would say it was around 3.5 acres, and then it went to 7, so it was moving pretty quick. We didn't have any injuries, no broken equipment, which was very good for the amount of people we had in the woods. There was roughly, every day there was roughly 50 firefighters in the woods for the 3-day operation that we were out there. I will say that I am very humbled by the support of the townspeople of Ware. I couldn't be happier. Many donations to us for water, Gatorade, snacks, and stuff like that. A lot of that was utilized, and what is left over from that, we will be sharing with the food pantry and hand in hand, because really we got overwhelmed with stuff towards the end. So we will be sharing that with them. So thank you to all the town residents who came out and supported us. That leads me into one other thing, and that is during the fire, there was a number of comments on Facebook about the lack of communication that we had with the town residents. The town of Ware does not have an official emergency notification system. And this was brought to light, actually, I started looking into this when recently with all the Texas floods and everything else like that, I started thinking, I'm like, geez, do we have something like that? And I started looking into it, and as with everything else, that kind of got pushed down to the bottom. But in light of this, it's been brought back to the top again. There was a system in place before in New Hampshire, was Code Red. That system was around for a couple of years, I guess, 4 or 5 years. At the time, the town of Ware did not opt in to the Code Red because there was a fee for that, and I guess the town couldn't afford to do that because of our default budget. The state of New Hampshire is now has a system called the Genesis Project, and every 5 years I got this from the state. Every 5 years they have to open the bid up to see who's going to bid on it. Genesis bid on this, and they got it for the next 5 years. Now, what that's going to allow to do is if people go on the website, go on to New Hampshire Alerts, they will be able to put in a phone number, whether it be a landline or a cell phone, an email, it could be multiple emails, multiple phone numbers, and if there's any alerts in our area that we put out, those people will be alerted. The only other thing that we have in place now would be a town-wide thing, and that would be probably like a reverse 911 type thing, but that's gonna alert everybody, right? You know, there was some people that were very concerned about the fire, this brush fire getting out of control, and I think a lot of people were thinking of, you know, like the California type fires where, you know, they're consuming a whole neighborhood within a matter of 15 or 20 minutes. And that was certainly not the case here, but we need, as the fire department, as the town, we severely need a way to communicate with the public that is more of coming from like a governmental side than relying on Facebook, Twitter, X to, you know, social media. I'm not saying that that's not okay, but that's not really the proper vehicle to get that stuff out to the public. And it doesn't pinpoint, and once it gets on those, I could tell you that it morphs into, you don't know what, you have no control over it, you know? So, I had gotten the information from the state. I believe Naomi got it, sent it to you guys also, so you guys have it. The cost of this is zero. The state of New Hampshire has picked up the tab on this whole thing, so it does not cost anything for us to belong to it. If anything, once we get involved with this, the state will, or Genesis will send people out to train us how to put stuff out, right? To be able to post stuff on there. The only thing that the state said that they ask is it only goes out for emergency purposes. And not that, you know, the ham and bean supper has been canceled tonight, or bingo is tonight. So it's only for emergencies. It would be great to have the department heads on that. So Chief Moore, Director Fisk, they can, if they have a road closed, that they could put that on there, and it would be sent to the public. Again, the public needs to sign up for this. This is not automatic. So once we get this in place, if you guys choose to do it, which I hope that you do, once we get this into place, we will push that and try to push that narrative to get people out there to sign up with this, with their phone numbers and stuff like that, because that's the only way you're going to get the information. We still will put stuff out on our Facebook page and stuff like that, because that is a vehicle, you know, for some of the newer generation or whatever. But to actually have a phone call and something recorded that's coming right from a government entity, I think is the best thing to have, right?
And Chief, you mentioned that this is pinpointed, so say, you know, I sign up on Mountain Road area and Frank signs up where he lives. That forest fire, we all get the call, or would it just be the people that live in the fire area that?
I'm not sure, because I think when Code Red was around, now I dealt with Code Red when it was in Hillsborough, and I think it was more pinpointed, but I'm not sure on Genesis if it is or not. It might end up being like a blanket thing, like that, you know, there's a brush fire in the area of Mount Dearborn, and that way that everybody knows about it, who's on that. I don't know that answer, to be honest with you.
Chief, is this something that you or somebody from Ware Fire has to request and the state sends it out, or do you send it out?
We send it out. They will come and train us.
Okay.
And they would come and train, normally like Naomi would be trained. You know, Chief Moore, myself, probably like Jason, the Director Fisk. Assistant Chief Anderson, so in case I'm not there, he's the assistant EMD.
It's a web-based program?
I believe that it is a
Log in and
web-based.
do your
Yeah,
thing?
so log in, do your thing, and then it sends it out to the people who are subscribed in your area.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know this particular program, but I do know some of the other programs. They're point and click,
Yep.
so you can select geographically an area that you want the notification to go out, and it will send it only to the
To
people
those
signed up
people
on
in
those
that,
areas.
yeah.
So that, I don't know it specifically, but,
Not like I'm gonna vote no if it isn't, I just was curious.
yeah, but I know some of them, they, you can actually,
The people
you
who
can
were,
select all, or you can select regions and areas within the,
yeah, anyone who was signed up on Code Red, if they happened to put in their phone number before, the state advised me that everything, when they went on to Genesis, everything from Code Red was populated into
Okay.
Genesis, so, you know, you don't have to put your number in again. If you go in there and put your number in and it says it already exists, then you're good. But this allows you, again, to put in multiple different phone numbers or emails or, you know, do it for your family or for your parents or grandparents or whatever. You could put in whoever you want and get notified by a bunch of different ways. Text message, email, phone call.
so Chief, are you looking for board approval to get this implemented for where?
I would like to see the board approve that. I cannot do anything. I'm not the administrator of it right now. Naomi is the administrator of that. So I am recommending to the board that we finally do this and get this in place, because I imagine it's probably going to take a month or two to get all this going and get everything started. But coming up to our winter season, and you know how those are around here with our ice, this is like invaluable, and I think that it's extremely necessary for the town to have some type of official alerting system to the public.
Yep.
And not, again, rely on, Facebook to be, or Twitter or X to be that vehicle that we send out official information on.
Well, the price is right.
Zero,
So,
yep, it's free. So just the cost of people showing up for the training and
Yep.
whatever.
I mean,
Benji, I'd move we,
I don't know why we wouldn't, it's free.
yeah, I move we empower the chief to pursue this as soon as possible, and
For Naomi,
Implement it.
I guess technically.
what's that?
Naomi technically.
Or Naomi?
Yeah, it will be Naomi technically,
So
yes.
you can make him an administrator, all right, then I move we have Naomi expedite the implementation of this, so we can get it in place as soon as possible.
I'll second that. Any discussion on it? I know I spoke to Naomi a little bit about it, and I read through it a little bit, and like you say, if there's a big price tag on it, I think we'd break it apart a little more.
Sure.
But if it don't work, we just don't have to do it no more. It's that easy, ain't it?
Right, and this will be in place in 5 years, and then it has to go out to bid again. I'm not saying that Genesis won't be the winning bid in 5 years, but in 5 years, we'll have to come back and maybe it will be a cost in 5 years to
And it'll
do
be
it.
re-voted on it.
And then we'll just re-vote on it,
Right.
okay?
For now,
So,
it's zero cost.
for
to the
now,
town.
0 cost to do it.
When did the 5-year clock start?
January 1st, 2024,
Okay, so we
so
have
4 years,
I think
yes.
it'd be great, I
3 and a
mean,
half at this
just,
point.
just that brush fire, it was for 6 hours, it was somewhere else.
You know what, yeah, we were chasing that for a little while.
Down where my equipment is, there was something the day before, and it was said that happened again. So it running down, I'm like, well, there's nobody here, it's not here.
Right, yeah, no, we had the one on Colby Road. And let me just throw out, while, if the public is listening, there is still a ban on burning in southern, for us in the town of Ware. This does not include, and I want to say this, and I've already reached out to these people, this does not include campgrounds, cold springs, in Autumn Hills, they go through a more rigorous standard in the beginning that we go out and do inspections on them, and they are still allowed to use their fire rings at campsites and stuff like that. There was some back and forth about whether they could burn or not, and people are up for, they're up on vacation and stuff like that. Those people go through a more rigorous site inspection than your normal backyard fire ring and everything else like that. So until we get some substantial rain, there is absolutely no burning at all of anything until we get some rain.
Well, we had a motion and a second, no more discussion, I guess. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right.
Okay, I'll get with you, or we'll figure that out.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes,
Given 33 entities showed up to help you fight the fire,
yes.
how was the command and control carried out, challenging with 33 people?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the command post was set up at the base of 149 and Mount Dearborn Road, and I was down there with the cruiser. We actually had, for the first couple of days, we had Capital Area down there, came and helped out with that. We had two divisions. There was an Alpha Division and a Bravo Division. Alpha Division was up off of Perkins Pond across there, up the old access road, and then the Bravo Division was up Mount Dearborn Road, past the Richards Farm, and it was on the left-hand side of the road. There was an access driveway in there that they were able to gain access. So there was two fronts. Basically, once they got the two fronts, I just put two chiefs up there, and then the two chiefs controlled all of their stuff, and then the chiefs reported back to me. We did get a lot of help from New Hampshire Forest Service and the Rangers. Again, invaluable. We had help from Hopkinton PD with a drone, and then Hillsborough PD ended up coming out with their drone and flying multiple days to see hot spots. And Hillsborough's PD, their drone has the ability to do infrared, so we can see right where different hot spots work and where we had to concentrate people in and stuff like that. But
What was the reason for shutting 149 down at Perkins Pond?
149 was shut down because our only water source there was Perkins Pond, and we were running hoses across the road
To go up the road?
to go up the side of the other side of 149.
You ran it from there all the way to the woods?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
all right.
Yep. So we ran, there was a lot of
I
line.
was told it was to load trucks, and I said, well, I lived there for 20 years, and they loaded trucks without being in the middle of the road. If it
Nope.
costs to go up the road, I
No,
understand.
we were using
That's
so
a lot
much,
of
we were using so much water. Yes, there was actually, I'm not sure on the Alpha side, but the Bravo side on Mount Dearborn Road, they used a pump site up there, a pond, and there was, I believe, 1,400 feet of trunk line run up the hill just to get to the utility. The third day, we tried our best to open that road because where the other road was blocked off, there was more traffic going there. So during lunchtime, the guys were thinking, and they ended up running, there was a culvert there, and they ended up disconnecting the hose and pushing the hose, charging it with a nozzle and pushing it through a culvert and connecting it up on the other side so traffic could go over that road, and all the hoses were...
Fire place to Sap Shack, I think, there, right?
What's that?
They sucked out of the pond at Richard Sap.
Correct, yep. So, again, a lot of work, a lot of hard work. We were washing hose the last 3 days and rolling hose, and the last of the hose was delivered back to their respective departments today. you know, we were lucky that the departments for the first day when we established all the hoses, those were all kind of close by departments. Goffstown, Francistown, Bedford, Hillsborough, you know, our own stuff. So we had quite a bit of hose out there, but we were washing that for the last 3 days, and cleaning equipment and stuff. So I think everyone has their stuff back now to their respective departments.
Nice.
How many shifts did you run?
We only ran one shift because it's not safe to be in the woods during the nighttime. So the first day was to try to contain the fire. That was the first day. The second day we put up a drone. Again, Hillsborough PD put up the drone. We saw where fire had gotten a little bigger or smaller, whatever. But the second day was concentrating on going around the entire perimeter and creating a hard perimeter. So basically they would go in 15 to 20 feet and dig up the woods and really soak that down a lot. So whatever was burning in the center couldn't propagate out to the woods again. So that was really day 2. Day 3 was going in and really starting to work on that inner circle of that, putting out, you know, the stuff that was still burning. There was still trees burning in the middle of all that. And it burned deep because everything is so dry. It's, you know, you could go down and wet down an area and you would literally go up with your boot and kick it, and there would be about that much, an inch to a couple inches that would be wet, and the rest of it was like powder underneath, like you were kicking stove ash around because it was just so dry and it burned down so deep in there. So, and that's what we're still continuing to see now with these hot spots, and it will follow, you know, the roots of trees and stuff like that. And so until we get some significant rain, we're going to be out there every day. You know, I have people going out there patrolling that and making sure that doesn't flare up again and start all over.
Other than the alert system, Genesis, is there any other lessons learned out of this?
Yeah, there was a lot of lessons learned. Better, I guess, the ability to shut down roads and get people and equipment in faster, if that's at all possible. We did kind of take when we got some comments about that, but we did like kind of slow moving, and the reason for that is with mostly all fires, if you take that first, say like 10-15 minutes and you set up something good in the beginning, that is going to pay off dividends well down the road, and putting in those hard lines up into the woods. And I mean, we were having people strip 2.5 off their trucks, and like from all different departments to pull hose off, because we don't have that amount of hose on our trucks. And like to hand jack to carry all that hose up the hill, connect it all, and everything else like that. That took a lot of time before we even had any water at all on the fire. But that set the stage for the next 3 days worth of work up there, that we were able to do that work and to be able to do it successfully.
So
So
how far was the water source? I know you got 1,800 feet. How far was the water source to the actual fire?
well, they had the like 1,400 feet on the mount. Then they had the truck another, I would say probably 2,200 feet away.
That was all 2.5?
Like 1,400 feet was 2.5, and then there was a forestry truck, and that was receiving water, and then off of that was probably another 400 feet, 600 feet of hose, you know, to get out into the woods. And we, again, where we had the accessibility off of Perkins Pond, we were kind of be able to come at it from two different directions, and kind of cut it off on each side. So that worked really well.
Well, thank you, Chief.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
I spent some time fighting fires, and forest fires were the hardest ones ever. Back when all we had was Indian tanks and Pulaski's.
Oh, yeah, yep,
That's it. So, I've talked to a number of people on the fire department and who witnessed a lot of what the fire department was doing, and I haven't heard anything negative. Some people were complaining about the road closures, but, I mean, you can't do anything.
and I apologize about
You
that,
can't-
but
you
there's
can't do
really
anything-
nothing. Unfortunately,
You can't
where
roll the
our,
hose.
right,
So-
unfortunately, where that pump site was at Perkins Pond, and just the nature of it was across the road and then up the hill.
Overwhelmingly, Chief, everything I got back from people was positive. And you guys did a tremendous job with very little. I understand some of your newest members too worked their tails off.
Oh, yeah, everyone worked extremely hard
Yep.
from every department.
Yep.
Every department. I couldn't ask for anything more from any of the men and women who showed up there to do this work.
Heard from some of your mutual aid partners who were very impressed with some of the other new members that you have. So
Yep.
you're making some good hires too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And again, huge shout out to the town. I can't say enough about, I'll do a little plug. Dollar General went above and beyond. Fantastic. I can't say enough about the employees, the manager, everything, down at Dollar General. And, Dimitri's Pizza, they kept us fed, did a wonderful job. I appreciate them. Actually had really good comments about the food. We had food catered, and I apologize, I forgot who it was who had some hot food catered for us. But I will definitely make that plug for them when I remember their name.
The trolley there?
Chief, if it be possible.
What was that?
The trolley?
The trolley, yes, the trolley.
Yeah.
So the owner of the trolley, fantastic food. 2 nights worth, we were able to have hot meals for these men and women coming out. And they very much appreciated that, and I appreciate that. Was fantastic to be able to have them show up. They did that, and we didn't have to kind of scramble and have people eating, the same thing over again, or just a snack bar or something like that. So I very much appreciate that, Dollar General and Dimitri's.
It would be beneficial for the select board if you get us the names of these people, send a thank you note signed by the select board. members.
Absolutely, I will get that to you. Yep, absolutely. Again, the townspeople, fantastic. I can't say enough about them. I apologize about the road closures or maybe even some of the notification, the way we did that. That's on us, but
Well, hopefully
I
they're
think
addressing that.
I think we've made an improvement on that, drastic improvement on that this evening, so. Anything else on that? I just have a couple small other things. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know the South Station, okay? We had the fire on Colby Road, okay, the brush fire on Colby Road. We used the cistern there. We used approximately 15,000 gallons of water out of that cistern. The cistern needs to be refilled. We did refill that. The cistern is filled up. We did fill the tanker, which is 3,000 gallons, a couple of times at South Station, and once during this brush fire that happened on 149 at South Station. We had a lot of people in there using the bathrooms and stuff like that. As you know, you saw the fire trucks there. There was a lot of people that were staged there every day for 3 days, okay? The South Station well went dry. It's dry. So that hasn't happened evidently since the history that thing's been there, but it's dry. So I just want to let you guys know that and here's a little just forethought. One of my warrant articles that I'm going to be putting in for is for a 30,000 gallon cistern at the center station. That 30,000 gallon cistern at the center station was supposed to be there when that building was originally built. It was cut out of the budget for budget reasons to reduce the price of the safety complex. It's great now in the summertime. We could pull water out of ponds, right? We'd go to Perkins Pond, we could go to Mount William Pond, and we could pull all kinds of water. But in the middle of the wintertime, if we use a cistern, we're not, our source of water is South Station. And I'm wondering, I don't know what type of well that is,
It's a
but
shallow well, isn't it?
but that's not, that's not gonna end up being really conducive, or we're gonna end up drying that out again.
But Center has a very poor water supply, the well.
Center Station?
Yeah.
If I fill anything at Center Station, it's a garden hose. And you put a garden hose in a 3,000 gallon tanker,
Takes a minute.
that takes just a little bit of time before that fills. So, we do not have any access to any water. We have gone in before and have gone to the middle school and used their cistern, because the middle school, their cistern actually has an automatic pump. So if we pull water out of that, the float goes down, and it fills back up again. But we don't, that's all the school stuff, right? We don't, technically, yes, we own the cistern, but as far as the pump and filling it and everything else like that, that's all there, that's on them. So, they've been gracious enough in the past for every now and then where we go there, we're kind of in a jam, they'll let us fill that, but it's not there for that, right?
What's a cistern, 30,000 gallon cost roughly?
I would say in the $50,000 range, complete.
No.
The whole, if you go on the, more than that, you think?
100 probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was $50,000 20 years ago.
All right, because I think I just pulled prices on a concrete place out of Mass that was, I'll have to double check that again, maybe I was looking up the wrong size.
Well, cistern might, and I guess it depends what you pull for resources, but that would be the contractor putting it in and all that, I guess.
Right. If you go on the side of the station, or if you look on the side of the safety complex, the hole is there in the ground. It started to be the hole in there, and around there's a big, looks like a crater.
Well, that's supposed to be a detention pond for any runoff, is what that's for.
So, again, where I have to kind of look into this, but I was told when the station was built, the gutter system flows underground and was supposed to flow into the cistern to keep the cistern filled. It was supposed to be filled by rainwater.
Oh.
So, I don't know how much of that is true, but this is all will be investigated prior to me bringing any kind of anything. But I just want to let you guys know that. Moving on just quickly, and I'll make this short and sweet. Our new fire truck, I'm going to be meeting with Rosenbauer probably in the next couple of weeks. Right now the ball is kind of in their court. They're doing like pre-construction work and all that other stuff, and then they're going to come meet with the truck committee, and we're going to sit down and actually physically go page by page to make sure everything is exactly the way we want it before they start to do anything. Our chassis should be pulled probably, they said probably sometime in January or February, when our chassis will be rolling down coming off the line and being built. Okay, so that's with the new truck. And the last thing I just have is we're working this year. We actually have a cistern budget and stuff to do work on that. We're working on the pump site down at B&B Lane. We had the site all taken down with some equipment to get all the brush and everything out of there. And we're going to be working with a contractor to get the old pipes pulled up out of that and get some new pipes placed into that. So, because right now that whole thing is out of service, and there's an incredible amount of high value dollar amount and high hazard places with Haffords being down there and all the other industry that's down there, and not to have a water source there. We do have a cistern on Colby Road, or, but it's, no, not Colby Road, Gould Road. But again, that's only 15,000 gallons, and we need that pump site. So we're working on that, and I'm also working with the state of New Hampshire, state DOT on, as everybody knows, I'm sure probably aggravated about it, the traffic light down by Langtots and going across the bridge. I've been in contact and been back and forth with the supervisor for that project, and we will be discussing putting in a better pipe system than what was there before, which was actually straight down into the river, and stuff got caught on it and ripped that off, and we would lose like $1,200 worth of strainer and pipe down the creek, and never to be.
Talking about the dry hydrant?
The dry hydrant, yes. So they're going to be working with us, and once they get the section of bridge that they have now, and once they get that box bridge in, then they're going to work with us of where we're going to put our pipe on that side. So we still have access, but the pipe will be better protected, and we'll be able to, have that and be a solid, good site instead of.
Yeah, because every time the ice broke up.
It snapped it, and it's like a lot of money, and even in the times when it was really, the water was low, people walked out there, we walked all the way out to Daniels Lake and kayaked and everything and could never find the pipe, so I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone, and it's expensive because it's a decent size, so that's all I got for you. Questions, comments, concerns?
Job well done on the forest fire.
Thank you. It was
Fires
definitely,
that week.
yep, it was definitely a good effort. It was a very good stop on Colby Road. That could have been bad if it got into the inventory of Cold Springs, and got into some of those campers and stuff, because that just would have been a chain event right there. So, for sure, very hard work, extremely impressed by everyone on the men and women on the department, and very extremely thankful for all our mutual aid partners who came to help us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good?
Have a good evening.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Chief Brown had something.
Okay. Take a look.
Actually, Peter, you'll go first.
Sure. This will be really quick. So we got an email notification from from Crown Castle today. Crown Castle is preparing a licensing agreement for us to put the equipment on their tower. They just need to know who is going to be designated.
Mike Hill?
Yes, Mine Hill. Who you want to be designated as the person on the contract. Last time we did this for US Cellular 1, the board at that time designated Naomi to be the one on the agreement. They'll write up the agreement. I'll bring it back once it's ready and present it to the board for you to approve it and have her sign it.
They can stay with the TA, wouldn't you?
Makes sense.
Yeah, the only thing I talked to Chief Moore about is, I don't know if US Cellular is going to make one, but the cell tower in our backyard is one that is getting an antenna, so I will not sign that, just for, I'm the homeowner.
Right.
Okay.
So when that comes about, somebody else will sign that one, and that's what we talked about today. You can even get it to him or one of you.
Okay.
But I just wanted to be clear, because I'm the homeowner, I don't want
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
conflict.
But for this instance, you can do this one. Just have it put Naomi's name.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Eastman Way easement deed release. Each motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go, right?
Right, that's what I told you.
Thank you.
So, Pete Madsen with Keach Nordstrom Associates in Bedford, representing the owner and applicant Brian Kelly, who's with me here today. So just a little background on this project. Bruce, I know you're familiar being on the planning board, but for everyone else, basically the project is, there's 10 existing lots off of Eastman Way right there. What Brian got conditionally approved at the planning board last month was to consolidate the lots and then re-subdivide into 3 larger lots. So that's kind of the lot consolidation plan in front of you there shows that. The page on the back shows what the new lots will look like. We've done a lot of things here. We've, like I said, gone to the planning board, gotten their approval, got a variance from the ZBA for the driveway crossing. There's a wetland, so there's a driveway crossing associated with that. Brian's also gotten a NHDS wetland permit by notification, so that's been all taken care of. And you guys are pretty much our last step to address the planning board conditions here. So what we're looking for from you guys is to release the easements that were associated with the existing right-of-way that's out there. So there's drainage easements, there's a cistern easement, there's slope easements, conservation easements that were associated with that right-of-way. And once the right-of-way gets released, those easements should also get released because they have no bearing. So it's mostly just cleaning up the title for Brian when he goes to sell these lots. So happy to go into more detail if you guys need, happy to explain anything, but that's what we're looking for. Thank you.
So it'll be a private road, because it'll be 4 lots?
So there's no, it's only 3 lots. There's no road anymore. The road's going away. It's going to be a driveway accessing one parcel off of Barnard Hill, and then a shared driveway off of Eastman Way.
Town attorney's looked at these, right, already?
So yeah, it was last minute this afternoon, so I provided Peter and Brian copies because Steve hadn't get a chance to send it over to Booton. Okay, so, but Steve was insistent that we make a motion to release the easements as drafted, but then there's, I sent you one later this afternoon, Bruce, that has, oh, you've got them. That it's for Brian and his wife to sign once it's been reviewed by his attorney, and then you guys could sign it. And there's 2 notary spots for either place so that they don't have to come back. But he had to present it to you, and you could make a motion to release the certain easements as described, because Attorney Whitley for us just said that we needed to just put something in the record.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. It's too bad. But over the years, I think the planning board has allowed the town of Ware to be the biggest owner of dead-end roads in the entire United States. And this was supposed to go all the way through.
We're right with New Boston.
No, there's way more in this town.
Speaking for New Boston, I grew up on a dead-end road there, so, yeah.
I worked there and I've worked here, but anyway, this was supposed to go all the way through and it's just too bad. But I get it, it's, a new owner and I don't see any reason to hold him up on it, it's just.
And then what will happen is, I think once they, we chit-chatted quickly, is once his attorneys looked at it, he and his wife will sign it, and then get it to you guys, and I can snag your signatures, and then we'll record it.
Perfect. Yeah, probably with the plan, I would assume.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
recorded with the plan.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, we can pull all the pieces together.
Perfect.
But Steve wanted it on today's record, because you guys will be signing it, and he suggested that we maybe move forward and.
Does it really need a motion or it's just us signing it?
Yeah, need a motion, right?
He asked for a motion, I didn't print out the email. Oops, sorry.
You seem to be most familiar with it, so you feel comfortable making a motion?
Yep, I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion that we release easements that were placed on this Eastman Way subdivision for this section of road that was never constructed. Not to be confused with the whole road, but just this section that was never constructed. Which is lot 191, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and lot 191 itself.
Need a second?
Yep, need a second if there's
Second.
any other discussion on it?
Did you get all the lots? Yeah, I think so.
He got them.
You got them?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice job.
That's the only question I had. I want to make sure we got them all.
7 through 15 and then 191.
Okay, good.
All right, we have a motion and a second. No other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right.
We'll
Thank
just
you, guys.
We'll stay in touch.
Perfect.
Early
Thanks,
night.
Brian.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank
Yeah, you guys too.
All right, next is opening building permit software.
We only got one. So we put out we solicited bids for proposals for building permit software. We put it out there right away to 4 that expressed an interest. One we got back, we didn't hear from the other 3, and one of them, which is the Avatar, he couldn't meet all of our requirements, so he opted not to bid at this time, but if you wanted to entertain a conversation, if you weren't happy with the one bid, or however you want to handle it, I'll put one in, James, then you guys can go from there. But the idea tonight was to just basically receive the bids that you've got, open them, and then I'm guessing you'd go through it and look at it and put it on another agenda. I don't even know what
And the other thing I'd like to see is have them come in and
Yep.
give a demonstration to all the town employees that would be using the system.
Yeah, we didn't hear back from the asset management. I don't remember the other one. And
I guess that kinda, suppose we should have done that first before we asked for bids.
Nah, we really had to find out who was gonna bid on it.
No. Usually you want demos, you ask before you ask for it.
Yeah, but that's why I changed the RFP to give us a timeframe to allow us to do that.
Oh, to bring them in?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you talked about that. Because your RFP gave you 60 to 90 days to award. And I'll put one in James's box, but I think it's something that you'll have to read and see if it covered everything you wanted to cover. There's a fee or a cost on the last page.
Yeah, page 21 is.
Page 21's got the fee. It gives you an annual fee, and then it gives you a fee, I just quickly looked at it, for the out years.
It does year 2 and
Yeah.
year 3.
Yeah.
So this doesn't connect to the DPW's system?
No, I'm guessing not, because these aren't the same
Standalone.
people. These aren't the same people.
And DBWs wouldn't work for what they wanted to do.
Okay.
This is very unfamiliar territory to me. So I don't know what they can offer. I'm more visual, so if I ask them to come in and show you what they can do. But at the same time, like I said, you have Avatar that we do assessing with, and then Jason's has got the asset management, so. I think Bruce you were the more spearhead to this, because you have more familiar territory with other communities. And they gave a list of what towns.
At some point, would it make sense to send maybe Mary Ann to one of these towns like Milford, just to look at the system and get an understanding how it works?
Yeah, because you've got Derry, you've got Milford, and you've got Hooksett, Pembroke.
I'm surprised there's only 6 towns they listed.
They probably got some mass, they didn't.
Yeah, they have Falmouth, Mass, but,
They show they're compliant to our RFP.
So I guess to just put the information out in public, we received one bid from Schneider Geospatial for total first-year cost of $34,400. Annual subscription of second, $18,585, and third-year annual subscription of $19,514.25.
So it's 20 grand a year to,
Keep up with it.
And so people know what this is essentially going to online digital permitting for zoning, planning, building permits, any kind of permit that the town issues. Fire permits, driveway permits,
Right.
every single permit we issue. Homeowners or contractors will be able to go online
Yeah.
and fill out all the information and apply for permits.
so this is moving us from a paper base to a
Digital based.
Right.
I'm just curious because it might be more money per year, but as you stated, the company that Jason, went with for his work at the highway, I thought had this option, might have to pay additional for it. It might,
Well, were they asked to
They were
respond?
asked, they were asked to bid on it. They were sent an RFP. They were sent an RFP, Avatar was sent an RFP.
all right.
But I think the issue here is we would have to archive the existing file cabinets at some point, basically move them someplace. Or you go back 2 years or whatever it is for data capture. And from that point on, everything is done electronically.
Right.
So it basically, no additional file storage, and nobody has to know the sorting method as to going through the file cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all online, right?
And it's gonna save,
Cloud-based or?
yeah,
Yeah,
cloud-based.
it's closed.
How many companies was it sent out to?
I know there was 4 sent out too, because they had expressed interest when we first searched around. But they didn't know the total details. So we put together the RFP and we sent it to them. And as I said, I heard from one, Avatar said they couldn't meet all of your standards, so they didn't waste your time.
Yeah, I guess we can ask for demo. I guess I've never done nothing in that manner. To me, this seems like cart before the horse would get companies that were interested and then
Well,
get the demo and see what they offered.
if
And
we
then,
would've got 4 demos and then 3 of them backed out, so they couldn't do it, it would've been a waste of everybody's time.
yeah. That's just how I've ever done RFPs. Didn't get prices and then say what you got while everybody's got the cut there showing the hands of cards. But we only got one, so I guess it's only one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, you wouldn't see what everybody offers and then ask them to come in and tell us what you offer.
Right.
But this isn't my wheelhouse, so I know many other communities are going that way. I know this because we were getting demos where I work. We're still getting demos from companies. They put a lot of time into going to lots of different companies, seeing what, then the people that use it every day get to look at it, you know.
Right, exactly. But
But
it's, it's just the time, like you said, you get a lot of companies coming in, you know, showing what they got, probably 2/3 of them won't be able to do what you want done at the end. So it's kind of wasting a lot of people's time doing it that way. On both ends of it.
Yeah.
So you can read through it and see what you want.
Yeah, you
You
redo it. I
offered
definitely
yourself.
think the people that use it need to look at it and get a demo
Yeah,
from
they can come in
them.
here and use the system and do it up on the
I mean,
whiteboard there.
it doesn't even need to be during a select meeting. I think to start with, be the people that use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be for you guys, you
No,
don't
no,
have to use
Set
it.
up a time they do it during work hours.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's more than 3 of us that are gonna, or more than 2 or 3 that's gonna come, then I guess we call it a meeting, but
Right,
you know,
right.
obviously, I would think the employees would.
Yeah, you would have the
They're
staff
ones
that
that-
are
They're
gonna
the ones
use
that
it.
gotta be using it. you know.
Yeah. So you can read
And I
through
would,
that.
you know, I'd encourage them to make sure that it's something they like, don't go with it just because it's the only one, we can try again.
Right.
We don't wanna enter into something, say, well, they only want.
No, no,
to
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we can schedule a demo then with the staff and
Okay.
go from there,
Sounds good.
okay?
When you have that, can you let me know when it is?
Yeah, yeah, and 2 of you can come, we
I'd be
can stand up
interested
3 of you,
to
yeah.
Take a
Unless
look
3
at
of you just wanted to sit in on it, I mean, they could do it that way too.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next is finalized draft public participation policy at board meetings, and I think I was out when you guys discussed this, so I don't really.
What we did while you weren't here is, I think, at the beginning, we looked at the town of Rumney. And I was asked to put Rumney word for word on our letterhead, which is what I did. And then at the meeting you weren't here, the board suggested that we send it over to Steve Whitley. We really didn't get into a whole lot of discussion. And now Steve Whitley has come back with, I think what I put in front of you with is a strike through on it.
Yeah, very minor changes.
It's a very minor change, and then he approved it, so, no, that's at the end. Benji, I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
that's
other.
at the end, yeah.
There was a draft, it should say draft right through the middle, yeah, I can see it. So there was some,
Do me a favor.
what's that?
Could you make a copy and give to Frank?
I have a copy.
You got a copy?
Should be an extra one.
This right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Selectman Fillmore. I appreciate it. Thank you, Naomi.
Yeah, of course. So, there was one little change he wanted to make, it was in red. So if you want to do that, I don't
Made it
think,
more declarative.
excuse me?
Made it more declarative.
Yes.
Yeah, and, I mean, yeah, it just clarifies who that section applies to, and that's my understanding of who it applies to anyway in seminars and reading state law, so.
I've read through it a couple times, and I think it addresses the need for civility when that's not happening.
It doesn't
It
cover.
it gives us a mechanism to deal with it, instead of just letting it go too far. So I like what he did.
Yeah, no, I think there's nothing restricting any more than we do now.
No,
No,
You know, and I'll say I've only been here for 2.5 years, but I've been on that side for a few years and witnessed things. I don't think there ever was something done because of the lack of the policy. When something gets said that shouldn't happen, and then it's like, stop, what already got said,
right.
you know, and so it's good to have this, but I know the last couple things that happened, I know when we were interviewing and Jack was up there, said stop, but it was too late, you know, you don't know when something's gonna fall out of somebody's mouth,
Right.
so.
And that doesn't prevent that from happening.
No.
There's no way to prevent that from happening. It just gives us a mechanism in policy written form where we can address it immediately, and that's the policy.
Also the legal
It
basis.
releases us from having to explain, well, I don't like what you're saying,
Well,
or I don't agree with what you're saying. It's our policy to not tolerate that.
Right, and like Jason said, give us a legal basis for having it.
Exactly.
That somebody can't take us to court.
Right.
And I would think that the minutes and stuff, you know, if somebody had something that we're really interested in hearing it, and it went to 3 minutes and 20 seconds, we'd be flexible. It's
Yep.
our power to
That's the
do so.
chairman's call.
Right.
so we have to have a public hearing on this?
So when you first establish a policy, there's no written law that you have to, but I think it is a nice thing. It makes people aware that you're doing it. And you get to hear other people's opinions, if there are any. May not change your mind, but this is the first time you're going to create a policy. It's always been a good idea to have a public hearing. You may get one person,
It's okay.
right, but you've at least put it out there, you've done your effort, and then you can approve it that night.
Now, this was also municipal group offered this as a, was this offered through the municipal group?
It was authored through another town that had been through a similar situation.
I thought the municipal group was involved in this.
They didn't author this one. This came from the town of Rumney.
Okay.
But it had already been through someone's looking at it, which is why it's set up in reference the way it is with statutory references.
Okay.
What kind of notice do we need for public?
Just 10 days. I can make it for your next meeting if you wanted to and get that out of the way, which I just want to talk to, is Jason's got a couple of things that we kind of put on the back burner. Jason had the snow and ice, I sent them to you guys, the snow and ice and the solid waste.
Yep.
And when he went away in April, it was going to be one night, we're going to have all these public hearings for policies. Do you still want to do that? We can schedule them all at once, because Jason's were done.
Yeah, we might as well.
So you can
We'll have
schedule,
them all and we can vote them on them all,
and you can,
Sure.
I can put them all listed, and we can have them for the 8th.
and we get them done.
That sounds good.
All right.
This won't pack a ton of stuff, it's gonna
Sure.
be a few minutes.
Yep.
Well, I think they're an easy read. I sent them to you.
I do too, but I'm
And-
sure there'll be.
And you
there's-
guys went through them, Benji.
Oh, yeah, it
dotted the
shouldn't be
i's,
a long
crossed-
time, it's just there's 4 policies, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
pack a ton of stuff. in
Yeah,
there
and I
tonight,
think-
you know,
And there are updates of existing ones,
Pretty.
no, the
Jason?
solid waste one's quite a change from before.
Okay.
But the snow and ice one is a bit of more of a change. He's got more RSA stuff in there. But let's just do it all at once. Get it done, move on, because
I
you're
guess
gonna
it's
be...
an update because yes, there are policies in
And it-
place, but they,
Snow and ice one, it'd be good to get it done now.
Well, you're gonna run into budget season
87?
and everything else, so.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So we'll schedule them all of them together for public
September
hearing
8th.
for the September 8th.
Okay.
We had a lot, certain amount of time for each one, correct? Open and close the pump.
I'm not gonna dictate time, but you may get one person, you may get none.
Okay.
So we can do that.
Good enough. That's easy.
Moving right along?
Now you can do the
Yeah.
consent. And I don't know if you wanna just, there's a lot to read there, but if you want to, as posted, you know,
Yeah.
you guys signed them as posted. I don't know if you wanna read them into the minutes, because when I give them to the minute taker, she can take them from the agenda and add them, or however you wanna do it.
If that's,
I think
if
she'll
that's
be,
kosher,
I think she'll be okay
I
with
like
it.
your idea.
I just think it's easier, it's already been posted, and she gets the agenda, and she's just gonna cut and paste it. So if you
So-
guys are okay with
I just move that we,
agreeing,
yeah,
Bad term.
we don't even have to vote, do we? Just,
no,
no cutting and pasting. Acknowledge that the consent agenda goes into the minutes as posted.
all right.
All right, administrators report.
As I said, I just do a quick, I'm gonna knock,
Good night.
good night, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
I'm gonna go down to, you've done the first 5 things anyway. So there's, back in, August 13th, there was the conservation met and has a USDA agreement for the duck pond, for the, pond leveler, deceiver. At that time, it was mentioned, did they want the selectman chair to sign it or not? I offered to bring it back to see if you did want to sign it. You can sign it just above him if you want to, where the town is, the town conservation's, it's gonna be funded from conservation. So where one person signs it, I just might ask that you make a motion to allow the chair to sign the USDA wildlife agreement.
I move we allow the chair to sign the USDA Pegasus Cooperative Service Agreement between the town of Ware, United States Department of Agriculture, annual and plant, animal and plant, health inspection services, APHS, wildlife services, WS.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Did you authorize the chair to sign it?
Yeah, he,
Okay.
I abstained, I guess.
Sign it, Benji.
I did. I had it done for you, maybe. It was ahead of the. And basically, that was just to, they're gonna put a beaver diverter out there. Jason was gonna do the same thing, and we had a meeting with him, make sure he didn't step on Jason's toes, and
I'm also gonna send down your way, 3 other documents. One is a Class 6 agreement and release form, which is part of condition of a variance approval. I have put the sign here tag for those of you
Thank
that.
you.
Require that?
And then there's,
I'm hard to train
there's
over.
there's 2 cemetery deeds. I sold 2 cremation garden lots. So those I didn't put on because your, names are right in front, so I don't have to do that. And I'm gonna leave this on the schedule so we don't lose it, and you guys can put it on your schedule, as I've got the CIP schedule for 26, starting on September 10th. I've got the proposed budget schedule. We haven't finalized the budget schedule, but the budgets have been started to be worked on.
I do have a question to that.
Sure.
I wanted to ask the board.
Yeah.
Is it worth putting a goal for the department heads for percentage increase, 3%, 5%, or just wanna see what
For
they come
wages?
in? No, for an
Overall.
overall budget increase.
Well,
Because we wanna pass one, and I want the taxpayers to see that we're conscious that we're trying, however, things never go down.
Right.
Just don't want somebody to come in with a 15% and blow it out of the water.
I've been digging through with Beth's help and Naomi's help on the
Did you
budget.
sign this?
And the striking thing that I found is that even if we had 100% labor occupied, all the positions, we would not be able to make it on our budgets. So, some simple numbers, 2015 to present, we tried to normalize it, took the 8 firemen out, so we're not counting that as a gain. We're $460,000 light on just loss on inflation. So I'd really like to look at, because honestly, from my perspective, my history, we should be putting a budget together that reflects our manpower and our requirements for expense and other things that we do. That's in the operating budget. We don't do that. We couldn't execute the budget, based on what I understand, it could be changed. If we had passed our operating budget and we had 100% people, we wouldn't be able to execute it. And the biggest chunk in the budget is $5.7 million for the labor.
Yep.
That is the biggest, and you drop down for some other stuff. When you're done at the bottom of the can, out of the 10.5 million, it's $500,000 for cutting edges, guardrails, repairs.
I just wanna make it,
But before we go do that, I'd like to at least understand, how far are we behind for just having a budget we can execute? Now, we've always relied on not having our employment fully 100%. That's how we made our budgets, is by not having money that was spent on wages and benefits. So that's always an issue, but we need to have a philosophical discussion is, before we say 3 or 5%, we should really understand how far out of bed are we to even have an executable budget? Should we keep on 100% personnel?
I don't disagree, I just don't wanna tell them to have at it, and then we come in the second quarter and say, well,
No, I agree, but what I'm saying
and
is,
the only reason I even suggested is so if we feel do that, if we don't, that's perfectly fine too, but so they don't come in with the budget and we said, you're 15%, we're not going for that, and they put all that work into it.
but I think this conversation could be had fairly quickly,
Yep.
because Beth
We
is.
did get a budget 2 years ago, so we're not years off.
But that's not necessarily a budget that would have paid all the 100% labor.
It should have been.
Well, I'm
I'm not saying it is, but it should have been. The department head should budget for the
I'm gonna
100%
go
labor.
check this out, because I was surprised when I asked the question and the answer is no. And the only reason we made it last year with 300,000, whatever it was, in surplus, we didn't have people.
Well, and that's 1,000% right. Every time there's a surplus, it's because we're short on people, which we don't want. But when they make their budgets, I'm hoping that they make them with all those people budgeted in.
We're gonna figure that out, because I could be wrong, but so far I've dug in with Beth 2 or 3 times. And I'd like to bring it back in a couple weeks and just have a discussion and see where we are.
All right, yeah, I think I'll go see her too and ask, because I just, if we want to give them guidelines, if not, I just don't want to go
No, I'd
through
like to give them guidelines.
the painful,
Well, we should, but.
the painful cutting that we did last year and took
Sure.
everybody's time and aggravation, and then nothing happened anyway. And we can still do all this work, and finance committee might blow it out and nothing will happen, but at least we can,
I'd like to give them a target.
yeah.
I think that's a good idea, but to Jack's point, if that's accurate, we need to have a discussion with the department heads as to why they're over budgeting and hoping that they don't fill all their positions, because that's not the way to run your budget.
We just need to make sure, I'd like to bring the facts back on the 8th.
Okay.
Can we wait till the 8th?
Yeah, I'd
And
be very interested to see that.
go back 2 or 3 years and it'd take Beth no time to figure this out. Our requested budget, could we have made the full employment? And
Because emergencies happen, and I'm gonna assume that's where that came from, that things have happened, and now at the end of the year, fully,
Right, so
Staff would've
how
made
much
it,
is
but
emergency overtime
begin-
offsetting
right.
the portion of the budget that
But at
would
the
have
beginning
been?
of the year, when we put the budget together, I'm hoping that we were allowing for, you know, ex-DPW and ex-cop, ex-police, ex-fire.
A lot of times that backfires on them because the overtime kills them.
That's what I'm saying, I
When they
mean,
gotta staff with overtime instead of, just regular
Sure.
man hours.
exhaust your labor.
Huh?
You exhaust your labor by doing overtime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know, I guess last year, what was it? 5 people, he had 5 people out of 11
Yeah, oh yeah, it's
for the
terrible.
DPW?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only so many hours these guys can work.
right.
Well, the other thing too is keep in mind, insurance is always on the proposed side, and we're starting to come the other direction. But insurance was always in the proposed, but not in the default, and then you had to find it when you got default.
Right.
So that insurance was a huge increase, just your property liability and your others.
Right.
We're in the downward swing too, but we propose what we're given from NHMA or Primex.
Right.
So we propose that, but we still have to pay the bill if you get default. So then we have been able to be, as Jack calls it, to pay the bills because we haven't had full staff, so. I just think if we look at the dive there, I think you're right, and then there's time still, because that would give them 6 weeks.
And we've had to do that on default budgets for, I know myself and police chief, fire chief had to do that, and they're on default again this year, and you've had to use vacant spots to make up
Yeah,
for a default.
correct.
But your proposed, if it passes, should cover your wages.
Proposed should, yeah, it's just we end up with default.
This
and
year,
then we
we're on
have to
default, so that's probably very well true, Jack.
But there's some issues here,
Sign it.
where the chief is coming up, which you would think would be expense items,
Yeah,
such as his tasers, buy 1 or 2 a year, or his ballistic shields what people wear,
body worn camera.
and they only got like a so many year lifespan. So
Yeah, I got that.
we gotta make sure that, from the budget standpoint, these things that need to be done on a recurring basis are covered in the budget, not that we gotta buy them all in 1 year.
Right.
But what happens, we get this bow wave of problems where we don't buy them, and all of a sudden, it's a blip where you gotta buy them all. So I mean, let me bring it back, and I'll either stand corrected, or I'll be more correct. On the 8th.
Yep.
What's up with bond payments? How are we doing, really, think we're finishing up?
You got one in 26
I
and
don't
one in
think so.
29. No, you guys signed everything, I got them.
DPW's expiring?
I think DPW, we have 26,
What's that?
the bond. DPW's last payment should be 26, and then the road bond should be 29.
Is it full payment in 26?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was reduced because it's the last
No, the
year.
only thing reduced is your interest, because your principal's down.
But it's the same payment as the other previous years.
Well, the principal's the same, and then your interest goes, yeah. And you
All
have
right.
one more for 26, but,
Can you do that, Class?
On with our administrator report, I guess.
yeah, I think I'm pretty much done, because I don't usually touch the bottom for you.
Okay,
Those are just, so I don't forget.
okay,
No, you guys also, you signed the 3 things I wanted.
all right. I'll read
So
them
now
all.
you've got a long manifest.
Manifest. I move that we order the treasurer to sign the payroll and accounts payable checks dated August 28th, 2025, as included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest, $102,983.07, that's weekly and monthly payroll. Accounts payable manifest, $434,697.85. Where school accounts payable manifest, $250,000. John Stark account payable manifest, $250,000, for a total of $1,037,680.92. Following manifests were previously ordered to sign at the August 11th, 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting. Payroll manifest $89,136.97, check dated 8/21/25. Accounts payable manifest $169,534.16, check dated 8/21/2025. As there is no Selectmen meeting scheduled for September 1st, 2025, Also move to vote that we order the treasurer to sign payroll checks dated September 4th, 2025, estimated to be the amount of $90,000. Furthermore, to order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $95,000 for accounts payable that cannot wait till the next scheduled meeting. And, of course, the reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion on the manifest memo at the next scheduled meeting. I have a second.
Second.
Discussion about that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, against? Abstained. Oh, wait,
Minutes,
the minutes.
8:11 for minutes.
We're in the restroom real quick, because I wasn't here for that, so you guys can...
You guys get a chance to review?
I did.
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Oh, he was gonna abstain because he wasn't here.
Already?
I didn't read.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I'm holding up for this.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 11th, 2025 minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? All right, are there any Selectmen Committee updates?
The Energy Commission met Thursday. Discussed getting the solar project for the safety complex on a warrant. The net cost to the town's gonna be nothing because it's gonna be covered by the grant. It is one of those things that we have to put the money out and get reimbursed. So there will be we'll have to do some sort of an education campaign for the voters so they know that this is it's a net cost of zero. So that was discussed. And there was also a talk of the group net metering Kearsarge arrangement. I'm not sure where we are with that exactly at this point. This is my first meeting
Yeah.
of the Energy Committee, so I'm not 100% sure where they're at with that, but that meeting was Thursday night. I don't know if the minutes are posted for that yet.
I haven't seen them. I did take the YouTube off and post it, so, but I haven't seen the minutes.
Yeah, because there was, it wasn't broadcast live because we weren't able to set up the computer, but,
I have to have a training class.
yeah, we have to have a training class on how to set up the live version, but there's a transcript generated.
But if we, how long would we have to be out money till we get reimbursed? Is
That's,
that like 3
that's
months?
an excellent question that I don't know the answer to.
Because, I mean, if we didn't have the cash flow, the town didn't have the cash flow to support that. We take taxes twice a year, and we always have typically more cash than we need. So if it happens at the right time, and if it doesn't, I guess you could borrow for a period where you don't have the cash, for short term. I mean, there's
As
really.
my understanding, the money is going to be available, or?
Yeah, so I think what happens, similar to the bridge, we put it out, and then we have to
Yeah.
put a voucher to the state, and I guess, I don't know, it's been so long since we've done a bridge, I don't know if we're gonna be out of the funds for 30 days, 60 days, I don't know how the
But if we
state
have
would do
I'm
that.
not sure how long it is.
Yeah,
But if the town has cash, if Beth has cash, that's not being scheduled to be used, because we collect taxes twice a year.
yeah.
So it's really a question of timing. And as far as solar goes, I mean, I'm making money sleeping, taking a nap in the afternoon like today. I mean, I've had mine for 12 years, going on 13 years. There's no moving parts, you know? Maybe a hailstorm, but these things are designed to withstand hail. I haven't had a problem. Bruce has got some, a lot of other people have them.
We
And
do.
to me, it's money well worth spent.
Right.
You know? Unfortunately, we couldn't double the size. There's not enough money there,
Yeah.
100,000, whatever it is.
Well,
42, I mean, the
There's only so
42
much roof
panels is
over
a
there.
good start.
Right, there's only so many rooms.
there wasn't any additional roof approved, so it is what it is, but, like I said, the grant reimburses the town for it, so,
Real
And it-
question.
it's-
Yeah, it works the same as the state does,
Yeah.
with the bridge.
yeah,
I just don't know their turnaround.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done the bridge project like that.
Oh.
But we can check on that,
It's a
we can get
state
that
grant,
back.
state's dispersing it, so.
Correct, just like the bridge,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, we'll have to check on that when it comes closer.
Any other committee updates?
No, it'll be in the middle of the month for me, conservation.
All right, move on to correspondence and other business, and I'll start out because last time I forgot, so we'll start out with 2 new hires.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
we are getting there.
So, in non-public, we interviewed 2 potential hires for the fire department, 1 full-timer and 1 on-call. So I'll make a motion for each one of them individually, I guess. We can take a vote. We interviewed Brennan Champagne for a on-call fireman. His starting date, they would like to be tomorrow, 8/26/2025, and his pay would be $25.75 per hour. So I move that we hire Brennan with those terms.
Second.
Any discussion on him?
Nope.
Seemed like a nice young fellow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Second is no stranger to the town. He'd been on the fire department. He worked for the DPW as Killen Donnelly. He passed all his testing required to become a full-time firefighter EMT. He will be serving a 6-month probation. And also would like to start date to be tomorrow, 8/26/2025, at a starting rate of $24.10 per hour. So I'd like to move, that we move Killian into the full-time fire department position. Do I have a second?
A second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, congratulations to those two young men, and
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
glad to have Killian back. He's been doing on-call. Glad to have him full-time. All right, any other correspondence or other business? I've got my head.
So just, your next one, just right now tentatively, I don't have anything more, but we'll have the public hearing for the, 4 policies.
Yep.
And then, 2026 Board of Selectmen budget discussion.
Yep.
Jason is going to come in, because we're gonna be talking about the policies, so he'll be here, so.
And public discussion for the draft public participation policy?
Yeah, the one
Four
public, yeah,
policies.
that's okay,
Oh,
the 3,
gotcha,
and
okay.
then, yeah, DPW, and then one for
Well,
us.
okay,
that'll be,
alright.
I mean, I'm sure 2 weeks things will come up, but I wouldn't wanna flood it, cause there could be some, there's 4 policies.
Yeah, there is,
I could see a solid waste comment, I definitely could see a public comment, and
yeah, yeah.
possibly a snow. I could,
So that, and
might
then
go
with your.
5 minutes, but I could see that stretched out an hour.
Right, and then with your discussion with your budget amongst yourselves, and that's why I called it a 2026 board discussion.
Yes.
It's not public input, it's a board
Let's see if we
discussion.
wanna give department heads a, guideline, cause what we wanna, I think, cause every board wants to help pass.
Well,
But
it's-
when you say,
Yeah,
but when you say 3%,
That just was a,
no,
down
no,
the road
if,
there.
if you say a number,
Yep,
and if we've been on default for the last years,
1.
then when do you start the 3% from? See we get that? It's,
Well, that's what we, if we're gonna throw a number out there at all, it would obviously be over what they're budgeted now.
but that's the default.
Right.
But that's what they're using.
But that's what they're using.
Yeah, I'm
That's the
saying
last
that may not be adequate to
Well-
support the town, not by a percentage wise. I'm just saying, it'd be interesting to find out, because right now, on default, if we had a 100% budget, we'd be not buying cutting edges.
Well, I understand, but that doesn't mean that we can't say, wow, they need 8%.
Right. We,
I'm just saying, let's figure out.
And maybe we don't throw any number at all, maybe we say to hell with it, but I'm telling you, if we get department heads come in here with 15, 18%, cause they say we have to have, it ain't gonna pass, so
Can we-
we're wasting our time.
Can we
Talking.
make that decision maybe on the 8th?
I thought that's what we discussed,
yeah, we're gonna discuss it
yeah,
further.
discuss what you find,
That's on the discussion, and maybe we'll say, never mind, I mean, my suggestion wasn't to try to cap any department heads, I really wanna,
you want direction.
yeah, I wanna give them direction, so they're not wasting their time. I want them to get a budget, and,
Listen, I think it comes down to thinking about your taxpayer, because I think most taxpayers know and expect that costs increase year over year. But when I see 15, 16, 20% increases, it's a hard no. I can't afford that. And I don't know many people that can, especially with the way costs are going up now.
and it's hard as a department head, I've been on that side for years and years, and it stinks to be on this default, and like I said, there was one year, myself and the other 2 chiefs had to go till September, no hires to make it, but at the same time, they did get 1, 2 years ago, which helped boost with some of the inflation.
Yeah,
At least we're not dealing with all the inflation. And we'll see, maybe we'll just say to hell with it and won't give them any. And like
It'll be
Jack said, I think
interesting
we
to
ought to
see
see
what
what
I'm saying.
Beth has to say, and she might say, you need 10%, get caught up, well, then it's 10%. not
what I'm
3%.
saying, Benji, though, is, I think this takes into consideration our taxpayer,
Yeah,
because we're all taxpayer in this town, that,
and it would be bottom
we
line.
don't want huge increases, so I think the discussion to try to limit the tax increases as much as we can, while actually passing a budget and not going default again.
The problem is, every year we get a default budget. There's also I like to say, inflation's a ratchet.
It-
Goes one way, okay? There's a cruel tax on the poor and low income. And unfortunately, every time we get a default budget, we're not getting that year's, we buy stuff on the economy,
Yeah.
and it's, generally speaking, impacted.
Yeah.
by it, so.
Oh, I know, I've, almost 10 years, I've been have to present a budget to the taxpayers and explain why I want more money. I only threw it out there because last year had a, had a board that gave us a goal and stayed within it and helped us, and we sold the budget. And I don't know that'll happen here, no, it was an idea, it worked. We have, I would love to have some of the louder voices of or stronger opinion, or whatever the right term be, of the finance to come in and discuss with us if they want some. We need to, I wish whether it's the select board or the department heads and them all work together better. It seems like
I
there's
like
always
it.
on the outer, and their opinion matters a lot on the vote, and these department heads need to have past budgets to get the work done that the taxpayers that vote on their
I
budgets
like
want
the
from
idea,
them.
Benji.
I don't know necessarily how to make it happen, I just know that if we say, we have to have this much or you can't do it, it's gonna get voted no, they're still gonna have to do
We're gonna
it.
still have to do.
They're told all the time, fine, don't plow that road. Well, that lasts about one phone call, and then you get called in front of the board, and it doesn't work that way.
Yep.
You have to, so, yeah, I think talking to Beth a little more is a great idea, and getting her input on it. And maybe in the end, we'll say, never mind, we'll just see what they have to come with.
Yep.
I wasn't hell-bent on that opinion, I just want to throw it out to the rest of you, so.
You're flexible, but you wanna talk.
So, anyway. Well, we have started our agenda, I think that's good for tonight, because something will come
And I
up.
just forgot, that when the chief was here, we had, if we can start at 8:15, 6:15 again, because we have an EMT.
Yep.
Someone to interview to be on the call for us, he's giving his own name to it.
Okay,
So if we can do 6:15 and then 6:30, then start works for us.
okay. Well, if there's no further more, I make a motion that we enter non-public under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2, letter L, and after that, we will be adjourning.
I'll second
And
that.
that is at 8:11. Bruce seconded. Roll call. Jack?
Second?
I guess I just didn't say yes.
Yes.
Benji, yes. Bruce?
Yes? Yes.
All right. Good night.
We in?
Not yet. Wait a second.
We close the door?